Hello there, and thanks for joining us again today on Dr. Teach Me to Parent. We are going to look at a little program today, a little different than what we usually do, because right now we are 1 year into this pandemic of the COVID-19. And we've been in lockdown. We've been talking about lockdown. We've been practicing lockdown. We've been talking about masking and using the masks on different places and for safety purposes. We've been talking about social distancing. That has dominated our conversation. It's dominated the news. And now we are into the vaccine issue and how people are thinking about the vaccine and taking it and when they're going to take it and if they're going to take it and what does it consist of and what the risks are and all the rest of that conversation. So we are deep in the issue of the pandemic of the COVID-19, and one thing that's been missing in all the conversation, all the news, is how does a family live in the midst of this pandemic? How does a family survive in the midst of this pandemic? How does a family thrive in the midst of this pandemic? That you don't hear very much about in the news today. So I'm going to pick up the mantle, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Will I survive or thrive now throughout the rest of 2020 and into 2021? That's the question. Now, obviously, we want you to thrive. Obviously, we want you to live a life as a family, as a marriage, as a couple, as children, in a thriving manner, so that you can look back on this time in your history and say, we made it. And here's how we made it. And here's some of the things we did. And here's some of the things that we tried. And here's some of the ways that we lived out this time of shutdown and lockdown and whatever you want to call it. But thriving is really what we want to do, and we want to focus on the word thriving today. So I'll pick up that in our conversation today. Now, again, let me just bring to your attention my online course on parenting better. That's based on this program, Dr. Teach Me to Parent, and it's an online course you can take. It's offered by Fresno Pacific College University, and it's available. You can take it at your own pace. You do it online. And if you need a course in parenting, you want a course in parenting, you're required to take a course in parenting, here's one that you can do online, Parenting Better. And there's the way that you can access it at the Fresno Pacific University and to take it at your leisure. Take it over a period of 6 months or a year or whatever you might want to do. But it's based on my book, Dr. Teach Me to Parent, and based on my podcasts on different topics related to parenting. So, in this program. So, avail yourself of that opportunity if you are in a situation where you're required to take a course in parenting or just would like to take one. This is the time. And what better thing could you do during the pandemic when you're at home anyway and you're sitting at home looking for things to do? So here's a course that you could take and let the kids join in on it and make it a family event as you learn to be a better parent to your kids. So you're welcome to do it, and that's your opportunity. Now today, before we get into our topic, I want to give you a quote. And this quote kind of puts it into context of what we're going to talk about today. So here's what the quote says. Some people are alone or lonely. Some people are alone or lonely because they build walls and not bridges. In other words, there are people who separate themselves out, who avoid. And in a sense, this pandemic has done that. It's encouraged that, to set up a wall between you and other people, you and the outside world, you and the people who are not part of your family. That's what this pandemic has done to us. It has created kind of a virtual wall that we are supposed to stay behind and not connect with other people. So it creates a loneliness. That's what a wall does. It separates you out from others, separates you out from other families, other people, other friends, and your kids too, for that matter. Separates them from their friends and their opportunities like in school and so on. So the pandemic has done some bad things to us. And that's the idea of walls. It's created walls for us. That's not good at all. And what your job is then is to counter that by building a bridge. How can you relate to others? How can you connect with others? How can you be part of the world? How can you be part of your community? How can you become part of your friendships? How can you become part of your extended family? That's bridges. You got to figure out ways to do that, and you got to be creative. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about some creative ways that you can build some bridges with the family and with your friends and with your neighbors and so on, so that you don't have this loneliness. You don't have this isolationism. And you can interact in a favorable, positive manner. So let's take a look at that. Will you survive or will you thrive? That's going to be the question. And I'm going to walk through 12 different ways as a parent you can thrive with your kids as a family. So we're looking at family life here. We're looking at parent-child relationships and what you can do to make sure there's a thriving atmosphere within your home. So let me walk through some of these steps and give you some guidance and some ideas, and you can go beyond. These are just a few ideas, but I want you to open the door and you create some ideas. You create ways that you can live your life much more effectively and interactively, and be part of the community, be part of your family life, be part of your extended family. Now here's the background to this. If you don't connect, if you isolate, you're creating depression. You're creating depression just by virtue of your isolation. We need people in our life. We need reinforcement. We need reward. We need interaction. We need pleasure. And that comes from interactional patterns we have with people around us. So I urge you, do not isolate, but connect. Find ways to connect. Find ways to associate, not only within your own family, but outside your family, the people around you and neighbors and so on. But look at it as you're all a family and you're the parent, and we want you to be a creative parent during this time of isolation and combating, the isolation. The other thing about connecting is this. Connecting is very important because what we know is that if you disconnect, the rate of suicide potential increases, enormously increases. People who commit suicide are disconnected. They're isolated. They're alone. They don't have a world of family. They don't have a world of friendships. They don't have a world of associations and so on. So there's some danger by not connecting, as well as there's some joy and some happiness and some positiveness that comes in your life by connecting and being part of the world, being part of your family, being part of your community, being part of your whole social world, however you define it. So let me talk to you as parents. You got kids, you got one kid, you got two kids, you got 10 kids, whatever it is, but you're a parent. And what's important between a parent and a child is touching, is hugging, is make sure that you as a parent engage in more touching now than you ever have. Now, obviously we're talking about appropriate touching. We're talking about loving touching. We're talking about friendship touching. We're talking about building up spirit touching. We're talking about touching that will enhance and will create joy and create a level of happiness within the family. So when you're busy, before this pandemic, you were busy, you were doing your own things, kids were busy doing their own things, and there was less time to touch. There was less time to hug. There was less time to be together. Well, now we don't have that excuse. You are together. So use that time for touching. We know that touching increases the endorphins of the body, of the brain. That's the biochemical system of the brain. And we know that particularly dopamine increases when kids are touched, when kids are hugged. And that means there's a feeling of pleasure, there's a feeling of happiness that will come upon the child by virtue of you touching and hugging. So it's got a neurological basis to it. It's not just a touch that as you walk through the room or you pass the kid or you talk to the kid who's sitting at the chair or whatever. You actually sit down and you actually engage in some conversation and you touch and you hug at the same time. Increase touching and hugging during this time. Increase the potential for dopamine to be released in the brain of your children so that they experience a level of happiness. They experience a level of pleasure. That's your job as a parent. Increase that. Now, find creative ways to do it. Find opportunities to do it. That's up to you. But put that on your mind. Make sure that you spend time every day where you have touched your kid, you have hugged your kid, you have stroked your kid in some way in a positive, uplifting, and enriching manner. Okay, that's number one. Here's number two. It's unusual, but let me give it to you. This is a time to increase your sleep and your rest with your kids. You know, kids in their developmental years need a little extra rest and a little extra sleep. A nap for kids is not a bad thing at all. In fact, it's a good thing. So let me just encourage you as a parent. You may need a little extra nap. You may need a little extra rest during this period of time. It's stressful in a lot of ways, and you're trying to juggle in a way that you've never juggled before. So use opportunity to take a nap. Use opportunity to get a little extra rest. Sleep an extra hour. Remember, you got to have minimum of 6. 8 is better. But sometimes a little nap in the middle of the day of 1 hour is a good little booster and rests the brain and gives the brain some strength. So let me just encourage that. As you as a family just maybe have a quiet time, a rest time. Maybe you take a nap and sleep. Maybe you just have a quiet time for about an hour so that the body can unwind a little bit and slow down and be part of a calming experience. You know, for you as a family and particularly for the children. Children need calm time. Children need quiet time. Children need rest time. Children need time that you and they can together can enjoy a experience of just taking a nap. Kids like that. Kids honor that. Kids enjoy that. Kids will remember that. So don't pass up the opportunity. Use this little extra time you may have to take that nap or get that little extra rest or sleep that otherwise you may not get at all. That's a restoring experience for you. So reschedule your body, reschedule your schedule, your time, and include that as part of your experience on a day-to-day basis. Maybe once a week, twice a week maybe, whatever you can pull together. Now, here's the third point. Use this time to reflect. Use this time to meditate. You know, we need think time. Kids need think time. Encourage think time. Kids need a quiet time where they can just reflect. They can meditate. They can just reflect on what life has been for them up to this point in time. Give them a question to think about. Give them a quote to think about. Give them a little paragraph to read and then to think about. Stimulate their reflection. Stimulate their meditation. Give them a Bible verse to read and then to think about. Give them a piece of poetry to reflect on and to think about. Give them something that will just stimulate thought. And then maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of a quiet time. No talk, all quiet, and just time for thinking. Maybe some background music might be a little bit helpful at that time, as well. But have some time to recall a history, a little history of the family, a historical event of some kind, something that you did as a family. Just stimulate their thinking, stimulate their opportunity to reflect, to remember, because that will bring it back into their mind and bring it back into their memory bank. And then they'll keep that for the rest of their life as they reflect on things that have been done in the past. Don't let it just go away. Let it remain in their life and help them remember some of the great things as a family you've done, the great things they've done as a child, experiences they've had, successes they've had, achievements they've had. Just have them reflect on that. Give them something to start with. Be creative. So meditate, reflect is a very important thing you want your kids to engage in, okay? Now, let me give you another one. This is the fourth one. Create. Create. Enjoy your creation. Whatever you've created. Art. Get your kids doing art. Now, maybe they're not artists. Who cares? Have them draw something. Pen and pencil. charcoal, crayons, dry markers, whatever it might be. Maybe oils, maybe into acrylics, maybe into some of the ways that you can get them into starting to painting. Do creative events during this time. Art is a wonderful opportunity. There's a lot of kids that have internal artistic ability, and maybe you can tap that a little bit. Maybe you can give them that opportunity to stimulate that art ability. Just let them get into it. So if a child has some artistic skills and artistic talent or an inclination that way, start stimulating it, encourage it. Do art with them. Do it together as a parent and child. Get your kids to do it together. Have contests, art contests. Display them on the refrigerator. Put them on the walls of the house. Put them on doorways. Put them outside. Share them with friends. Mail them to grandma. Do whatever you can do when you get in a piece of art that's been produced. Put it in a frame if it's great. Put it in a frame and you put it around the house. Use this time as a creative moment in your life as a family. And art is a great way to do it. Make up a music. Do music. Create some music. Write a piece of poetry and then sing it. Write a verse of some kind and then sing it as a family. Not just the kids, but you as a family. Sing together this time. This is a great time for creativity of music. Who cares whether it matches or rhymes or it's a great thing, but just it might be something fun for the kids. It's a memory builder, and that's what you're trying to do. Do drama. Give the kids opportunity to dress up and to create some kind of a play or some kind of a drama that they might scheme up. Kids can think that way. Kids are creative. Kids can think in terms of stories and ways in which they can operate their life as a drama. I have grandkids that have done that. And they always play this, get out the old clothes and dress up and have different kinds of games or different kind of drama events. Kids love that. So make drama part of your creative moment as a family. Do a YouTube. Take your iPhone out and take pictures of it and pass them around and advance them to other people so that they can share in that. It becomes a community experience, a family experience. Send them off to the extended family members. So use this time as a creative opportunity. A time that you can just meditate and reflect, that's true, but also a time that you can come now and be creative, to express yourself and to create new ideas and new thoughts and put them into behavior, put them into a drama, put them into some drawing like an art, create a piece of music out of it and sing it. Whatever it is in your heart, whatever it is in your theme, whatever it is in your interest, let it become part of your life these days. And don't be alone. Don't disconnect. Get active and make sure that sometime during the day is a creative time. You may want a time after lunch. You may want a time before lunch. Maybe set aside a half hour, maybe an hour. This is your creative time. And encourage it and do it together as much as you can, as a family. But get your kids to be, creative. And you lead the way. Okay? Now, let's go to another one. Number 5. Get outdoors and play. Get outside and play. For some of you, this is winter. And it's hard to get outside, but you get outside anyway. You put your winter clothes on and you go outside. And you play your winter games. I've lived in Minnesota during the winter. And you don't stay in the house all the time. You put on your winter clothes and you go out. You take your walks and you play games outside and you enjoy the cold weather with your kids and think of creative ways to be active and be interactive with your kids, whether it be cold or not. If you're in a warmer climate, get outside and become active. Get the bikes going. Get your skateboards going. Play whatever games are appropriate to the environment you live in, but get outside and play. Introduce the idea of play. Not getting no cell phones and anything like that. Just get out and play so that you and your kids can have a different way of interacting, a different way of enjoying life, and a different way of learning about each other and sharing experiences together. Now, you notice what I've been saying. You together. Don't just send the kids out, although there's times when you do that. You get out there with them. This is family time. This is parenting time. This is time for you as a parent and your kids to connect in different ways. All of these things we're talking about. This is not something you just pass over to the kids, but that you are involved with them as well. Get them started. Let them then take it and develop it on their own a little bit. But be part of their life. Be part of the audience. Be part of the game. Be part of the audience. Be part of the enjoyment. Be part of the group that claps and smiles and laughs. Kids love an audience, so you're the audience. Invite others to be the audience when kids are outside playing, or they're in a creative mode, or they're doing something that is worthy of kind of watching and celebrating, together. So get outside and play, okay? Now, the next one is, I want you to play as well as create. This is the drama. This is where you play with blocks. This is where you kind of do things that are different. I remember one little boy in my office, we gave him a big box of wooden blocks, and he took that entire office and made a fort out of it. And he had guns off in different directions, and he had castles here and a castle over there, and he made a fort out of the blocks that he played with. And there were about 40, 50 blocks that he had to work with, but he made a fort, and he had enjoyed that kind of a creativity. That was a creative moment for him. And everybody that came in to the office at that time commented to him what a wonderful thing he had done. And it was a success experience for him. It was an opportunity for him to get attention and to get joy. So use this opportunity to be creative in some kind of way, as well as to play, but to build these kind of memories, which is the next one. Build unique memories. Number 7, build unique memories. What we're talking here is I want you to go places. I want you to do something different. I want you to go where the kids have never gone, or maybe where you've never gone, and do something that is unusual, very, very different, because you're creating a memory. Or go someplace where you can do something which is very, very significant and important to your kids. Go up to the mountains and get your sled and sled in the snow, toboggan in the snow, ski in the snow, walk in the snow, play in the snow, whatever you're going to do. But build a memory. I can remember years and years ago taking our kids to the mountains and playing in the snow. That's a memory that I still have, maybe 30 years later. And you can do the same thing. Do whatever you can to build a memory with your kids. Go someplace where you can build a memory. Do something where you can build a memory. But make sure you're thinking of things that are very memorable and different and unique. So your kids can say, I remember when we did this, and they'll remember that the rest of the way, and tell their kids something that you did as a family and as a parent. That's your parenting responsibility. So get out there and just kind of build a memory. Be creative. Find some ways. Build a memory for yourself as a parent, memory for your kids, and a memory as a family. So do that. Okay, here's number 8. I want you to exercise. I want you to exercise. I want you to build some endurance. All right? This is a time to exercise. Go outside. You go outside by yourself. Walk around the block. Walk around the block twice. Walk around the block 3 times. Walk around the block 4 times. You may have to build up a little bit to do that. But get out there and exercise. Build some endurance. Get your bike out and ride. Ride a block. Ride 2 blocks. Ride 3 blocks. Get a skateboard. Get out and do something. Ride down the street on your skateboard. Do a little skip and a hop and a run. Do whatever you can to exercise. Do a calisthenic. Lay down on the floor of your home and go through a series of exercises for 20 minutes of stretch and bending and lifting and building your body and building the core of your body so it's strong. So get into the exercise mode and make sure that you as a family exercise, together. Make it a daily routine if you can. Now here's number 9. I want you to eat differently. I suggest you eat differently. Here's an idea. How many different ways can you make a pizza? Over this next 3-4 months, have a pizza night, but never have the same kind of pizza one night after another. Change it. Figure all the creative ways you can make a pizza, all the creative stuff you can put on it, all the different ways that you can enjoy a pizza, all the different places you can eat a pizza. But make it a pizza fun time, not a routine pizza, but make it an enjoyable one and create your own. Or, here's another one. Start eating internationally. One night have Mexican food. One night have Indian food. One night have Swedish food. One night have American food. One night have Greek food. Whatever it might be. Enjoy a variety of international foods. Go shopping for international foods and introduce that so that as a family you eat differently during the next couple months. Maybe one night you're going to have a different kind of meal. Or you might want to try vegan. Just one night a week. Eat as a vegan would eat. No meat, no dairy products, no wheat, vegetables. Try it. Vegan diet, maybe, as a lot of people do, they use it for purposes of health. But maybe you can do it just as an enjoyable experience. And then you can learn about why people eat vegan and why that is a good diet for some people. So talk about it and make it a learning opportunity. So eat differently. There's an opportunity for you. And then here's the next one, 9. Or is it number 10? Read and discuss. Make this time a reading time as a family. Read the same book and talk about it. Read a book that's similar on the topic, same topic but different books, and then discuss what you've learned. Let the kids lead. Select books the kids will read, and then you read that with them and then talk about it. Maybe Harry Potter is a good opportunity now for you as a parent to read that with your kids and then talk about it. Whatever you want to do, find a book that your kids might like, have them select, go to the library, pick a book out, go buy a book on Amazon that the kids might want, and then read it as a family so that you become a family reading opportunity. And then discuss what you've read so that the book or an article out of the newspaper, article out of a magazine, whatever you might find, get a book, enjoy it, and you enjoy it, together. And then here's the number 11. Work some puzzles. Work some puzzles, okay? Do things that you can enjoy together around a table. You can work puzzles. You can play games together. You can do whatever you do at a table together as a family. Usually that's a puzzle that you put together. Go buy a puzzle. Go to a store and where there's puzzles and go buy one. And then as a family, make it together. Have the kids pick out the puzzle, though. Get a big one. Get a complex one. Get one that's going to take you days to work it out. Or get a new game. Go find a new game. Let the kids pick it out. And then learn that game and then play it together. Families that play together, stay together. Families that work puzzles together, stay together. So get the idea that as a family, do something that's creative and interesting and fun and make puzzles and table games part of that fun and enjoyable part of life. And then here's the last one, number 12. I call it room attack. Room attack. Clean the kids' rooms together as a family. Clean the living room together as a family. Clean out drawers together as a family. Clean out closets together as a family. Clean the house. Clean the garage. Clean the yard. As a family, clean. Attack a room. Rearrange it. Clean it. Change the furniture around. Change where the beds are located. Change whatever you can to make a little different environment within the context of that kid's home. Give them a different context, a different feel in the room. Take the pictures down. Put up new ones. Paint the walls. Paint the door. Do some color opportunity. Let the kids choose. Let them have opportunity what they want. Wallpaper, let them choose it. Color the walls, let them choose it. Make this a family event and a family opportunity, okay? So there you are. I've gone through 12 ways that you as a family can make the next number of months ahead of us a memorable time, a growth time, an opportunity as family to come together, pull together, and strengthen yourself as a family. You want to build a bridge between you as a parent and your children. You want to build a bridge between you as a family and other families, neighbors and friends and whatever you have. Bring them into it so that you can become an involved family, an enjoyable family, and make this opportunity of lockdown or slow down or whatever we're calling it a good one for you as a family and a memorable one. Okay? Now, we're going to take a break. And when I come back, we're going to talk to parents about their marriages and what you can do as a parent, what you can do as a married couple to make sure the next 12 months are good for you. And not just good for your kids, but also good for you. So we're going to talk about that. So join us, get a cup of coffee, and come on back in a couple minutes. See you then.
When you need a dentist who has a passion for superior aesthetics and comfort, you need Dr. Christopher Wong with Cedar North Dental. Call 559-432-4948 or visit cedarnorthdental.com.
Hey!
Try to close the club.
Tanya, come here.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Kitchen in my hometown.
It's not about learning the right steps or making contact.
5, 6, 7, 8.
It's not about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about taking steps to greatness, about making a connection. It's about proving every kid and teen has what it takes. It's about people in our clubs who bring out the greatness in every kid who enters our doors. It's not just about being on stage. It's about walking across it. Great futures start here, and here, and here.
Sat7 is a Christian media network that uses uncensored satellite television to broadcast across the Middle East and North Africa, and is also available globally online.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
All right, welcome back to Dr. Teach Me to Parent. Remember the opportunity you have if you would like a class in parenting, or you're required to have a class in parenting. Parenting Better is based on this program in the book I've written, Dr. Teach Me to Parent. You can get that on Amazon. But the course that is offered through Fresno Pacific University is available to you online. Take it at your own leisure and pick up the course and learn a little bit more about the importance of parenting, but also the methods and the ways in which you can be an effective parent. Okay, so I invite you into that opportunity. Now, what we've been talking about today is the idea that you have been holed up at home for a year now under this pandemic. And for an entire year, you've been limited in your ability to get out and move about and do things. So I just walked through 12 different ideas that you can employ in working with your kids at home and making the time go by, making the time productive, making the time creative, making the time a memorable time. But now what I want to do is talk to you as a parent. You and your marriage also is at risk during this time of isolation and lockdown. You probably aren't doing as many things together as you used to do. So that puts you at risk. And when you're at risk in your marriage, your whole family's at risk. So we need to take this seriously. And I'm going to walk through 12 different ideas that you can, as a family, do together, but particularly you as a parent, you as a married couple, can do as a couple in enriching your life so that your family life is enriched, and your relationship with your children is enriched, and your relationship with each other is enriched. First of all, unite and recommit. You'd be surprised the number of marriages that are weak and at risk, and they do things in counseling, they talk about things together, and make a decision to reunite, to recommit, to remarry, basically, and redo their vows. A lot of couples do that. This might be a time for you to do that if you're thinking about it. Let me urge you, redo your vows, but certainly recommit to your marriage, recommit to each other. Just tell each other, you're here to stay, and you're here to have a future together, and you're going to make this as a future family. So recommit as a married couple. Make sure that this is an important time for you. Reestablish your relationship in a much stronger way than you ever have. Rebuild it, whatever is needed. Get into counseling if you need that. And but do something that your marriage becomes now strong. Here's number 2. Have talk time together. Once a week, twice a week. Have time to talk. Set aside a half hour, at least a half hour, and talk together. And talk about your aspirations, talk about your goals, talk about your joys, talk about your disappointments, talk about your fears, talk about your the ways that you want to improve your relationship. Whatever it might, talk. And if you have trouble talking, get a jar out, put it on the table, write out 20 questions, both of you. Put those questions in the jar, and then once or twice a week, take out a question, each of you, and whatever that question is, you answer it. And then that becomes your talk time for that evening, or for that afternoon, or whenever you do it. But a lot of couples use that jar idea, and wife, write down 20 questions you want to be asked, you want to hear. Husband, you do the same thing, and then use that as a way to generate your conversation. Okay, and here's number 3. Make sure you have fun time. Marriages sometimes are weak, and they run out of fun time. You're devoting your time to your kids. You're devoting your time to make sure your kids have fun time, and you're devoting yourself to your career and your occupation and all that kind of stuff. But the point is, you too need fun time. You need time that you'll enjoy together. Play games together. Go places together. Explore together. Meet some of your friends together. Repeat some of your prior experiences that you've enjoyed. Do it together. In other words, find whatever gives you fun together and do it. Make sure something during the week is a fun time for you as a couple. Leave your kids at home and you go do something as a fun. Take a ride. Take a drive for maybe 25 minutes and just spend time together. But do something that you can call a fun time, all right? Now, here's another one. Clean out time. Clean out time. Together now. I'm not about wife doing this. I'm talking about together. Clean drawers. Clean closets. Clean rooms. Clean furniture. Clean floors. Clean walls. Paint. Put wallpaper up. Hang pictures. Rearrange. Whatever you're going to do, but clean together. Marriages are strengthened, by the way, as they do things together that will make the living environment more enjoyable, more restful, more calming. So clean out your house. This is your opportunity to do that. And then that's followed by number 5, have eBay time. eBay time. Get rid of stuff. Sell stuff. Sell it on eBay. Sell it on Craigslist. Sell it on the different formats that are out there. That get rid of some of the stuff that you've been just holding back, and clean your rooms out, and clean your garage out, clean your closets out. Find the stuff that you can sell. Have a garage sale. Have a yard sale. But do something to clean out your house and get it in the hands of somebody else that might be able to use it more than you are. So make some time, eBay time, during the next couple weeks and couple months. And maybe do it twice, 3 times, until you can feel like you've thinned out your holdings a little bit. And now you can settle down and enjoy what you have. Okay, now here's the next one, number 5, a very important one. I call it date time. You should have 5 very special times together as a couple that you call date time. 5 different ways that you enjoy each other as a date. This isn't just stuff you go out for dinner at McDonald's or you go to a restaurant and have a dinner together, although that's part of it often. But these are 5 very special times that you do something together as a date. You plan for it. You schedule it. You do it together equally. Things that you both enjoy and that you'll both have a memory of having done it. Do something special. Do something a little extra. Maybe it's going to cost you some money. But go where you can enjoy an event together and you call it a special date time. Have 5 of those in the course of a year. So that means about every other month you need to have some kind of a date time that you can call it a memorable time, together. And then along with that is number 7, I call it road trips. Get in the car and go somewhere. Together, just you as a couple. Not the kids, but just the 2 of you. Drive 15 miles away and turn around and come back. Drive an hour away, come back. Drive 3 hours away and come back. Just spend time together in the car on a road trip. Enjoy a road trip together. That's a memorable experience, perhaps. Maybe that would be a date time. That maybe you want to go over the coast, or you want to go to the mountains, or you want to go to a lake, or you want to go to some special city or town nearby. You want to go to some special store that you always wanted to go. Whatever. Get in the car and go somewhere together. Have road time together as a couple. You'll enjoy your time together. You'll use that time together to talk and to rebuild your relationship a little bit. So, eBay time, date time, and road time. Make sure you have those well in place. And now, do a table game. Do a table game. Do something together as a table game. Work a puzzle. Now, I don't mean the kids and the family. That's different. You do that with them. But you together as a couple. Get a puzzle that means something to you. Maybe a picture that means something to you and put it together. Maybe it's a place you've been. Maybe it's a memory that you can rebuild as you put that puzzle together. But use it as a time to be together and to enjoy something together and work together and work a problem together and solve a problem, together. So, or play a game. Get Monopoly out and play it over the course of several days or several weeks. Play chess together. Learn a new game. If you haven't played chess and don't know how to play, learn it. Get a game that you can learn and play and that you can enjoy, together. Every couple has their own preferences. Find the one that you like and spend some time doing puzzles and playing games together. And then here's the next one. I want you to plan. I want you to take time to plan. This is a marriage. This is a couple. Where are you going to be 10 years from now? Where would your occupation, your career be 5 years or 10 years from now? Where would you like to live 10 years from now? What would you like to do after you retire? What would you like to do when you come to a point where you can move and you're financially settled and you can buy something very special? What would you like to do? What do you want to work for? What do you want to save for? Do some planning, thinking ahead. Give some thought. Get some goals out there. Get some objectives out there. Do the things that will make you think futuristically and enjoy life futuristically. So do some planning together, and make sure that it's equal. Make sure that both of you have opportunity to think what you'd like to be and what you'd like to be doing on into the future. So it's time for you to think futuristically. Use this time to do so. And now, creative time. Number 10, creative time. You also have to, kids have to have a creative time. You have to have a creative time. You do art together. You create some music, together. You do some kind of a creative event, together. You paint some picture. You write a book. You write a story, together. Do something that would be creative. Put an art project together. Get all the pictures that you have and put some kind of an album together. Do whatever you want to do, but create some kind of a object or some kind of a storyline, and then pass it around to other people and let other people enjoy it as well. Make a photo album out of your cell phone and pass that on. Get all the pictures you have. You probably got thousands of pictures somewhere. Go pick out some and then pass them on and enjoy. Share them with others so they can enjoy it as well. Make sure you have a creative time. Create a video. And then number 11, many couples like to think about having a new business, like to create a business on the side, an opportunity to make some additional money, opportunity to develop a plan and try out a new business and see if it goes, and then see if it turns into an opportunity, a career, a place where you can now put your life into the future. So, do you have a business idea in mind? Here's an opportunity to talk about it. Here's an opportunity to do some planning for it. Here's some opportunity to try it out a little bit. So if you have an idea of a new business, now's the time to think about it, plan for it, and maybe even implement it, even try it on a small scale. So a business is a great opportunity, for you. And then lastly, reconnect and rejoin. You have old friends that you haven't been in touch with for a long time. Reconnect with them. Call them up. Email them. Text them. Zoom together. Get some time with friends and people that have been part of your life but have been kind of let go for a period of time because of this epidemic that we're in. So if you've been a part of a club, they haven't gone. Maybe you've stayed away. Connect with the people of that club. If you're an AA member and you haven't been going to AA, get on AA Zoom and do it. But connect with some of your AA members. Connect with your sponsor. Do some connecting. Rejoin the activities of life and of social events that are going on in this world. Join a small group. There's a lot of churches that have small groups for discussion. They do it by Zoom. Join in on that. Be part of that so that you can make sure that you have opportunity for mental expansion and social expansion and opportunities to just be more aware of yourself and more aware of each other and others. But as a marriage, do it together. Don't do it separately. Do it together. Make sure that as much of your life together you're now doing. This is an opportunity for you. So do it and make sure that you have the choices and you choose wisely, but you choose together. Things that you will enjoy together, bond together, build a life together, strengthen your life together, and then you're going to be in a much stronger position to become a stronger family as well and enjoy family life together. It starts with mom and dad. It starts with husband and wife. It starts with that marriage. Get that to be strong. And then from there, out to the kids, and from there out to the extended family, and there out to the friends and associates that you have, and so on. So build. This is your opportunity to build. Build a new life. Build a new set of experiences. Build new memories. Whatever you're going to do, make this time a time for reconnecting and rejoining the life that you left behind a year ago. People you left behind a year ago. Get back in touch with them. Don't isolate yourself. Isolation is not a good thing, remember. Disconnecting is not a good thing. It only creates depression, and it puts you at risk. So be connected. Be joined up. But start with each other and start with your family. Make this that time for reconnecting. Well, there we are. I enjoyed being with you today. It's the end of our programs for the year of 2020. So we're going to look forward to a new set of programming next year and some changes that we're going to create. So we're going to see you again in January. But remember, if you have a parenting opportunity, it's here. It's there in front of you. Parenting Better. It's an online course in parenting. Do it over the holidays. Do it over the next year. There's no time limit, but it's all online. Do it as a class that you'd like to do together. Husband and wife, mother and dad. Do it as an extended family. Let the kids become involved in it as well. Make it a fun time, as a family. Okay? Now, here's the quote for the day as we're going to end our time. And here's the quote I want you to remember and reflect on. Loneliness and solitude are quite different. One is defeat, and the other one is victory. So just think of it. Loneliness is defeat. When you're lonely, you've let the world go by and you're isolating, you're withdrawing, and you're isolating yourself. That's loneliness. That's defeat. You're going to defeat yourself. But solitude is a time of reflection. Solitude is a time of being mentally alert and mentally engaged and enjoying quiet time so that you can be more productive, you can be more creative, you can be more open, you can be more involved after it. So solitude is a time of planning and a time to get something organized so that you can enjoy the next week together, the next day together, the next year together. Give it a time to think and plan and be active. That's solitude. It's a time of growth. Anyway, nice to have you with me, and thanks for joining us again on Dr. Teach Me to Parent, and bye for now.
The Green Gables Care Home is a 24-hour assisted living facility for the elderly located in Clovis, California, offering spacious private and semi-private rooms which are wheelchair approved, catering to the special person in your life who needs attention and wants to live in a loving home environment. The Green Gables Care Home has assisted living in secured homes for elderly with Alzheimer's, memory loss, and for your loved ones needing assistance with their activities of daily living. Call 559-297-9438 and visit greengablescarehome.com.
Sometimes good intentions hurt rather than help. For just $1.76 per meal, the Fresno Rescue Mission offers more than food. We offer hope. Please donate today.
Do you need a locksmith? Layman's Lock and Safe Service and Repair is available for you. 559-228-1805.
Gained a lot, learned a lot, and got a lot of love. If it weren't for the knowledge that I had gained from the classes at PCC, I probably wouldn't be the mom I am today. See, there it goes.
I would love you to meet my son, Aaron. My situation was very difficult. I didn't know how my life was going to turn out.
We graduated in June 2010 and we got married in July. And through family, the Pregnancy Care Center changed our lives.
The Pregnancy Care Center was a huge, vital part in helping me walk through that pregnancy, in educating me and loving on me during that time.
Choosing a Medicare plan can be difficult and frustrating. Susan Hatch can guide you through the Medicare maze and help find the right plan for you. Susan helps people understand the confusing and drastic changes that occur every year in Medicare. Susan will only recommend plans that will protect your assets and allow you to continue to see your personal doctor. As a 100% independent agent, Susan is not controlled by any particular insurance company to steer a person onto any one particular plan. Susan was awarded the #1 Medicare supplement agent in California. Look for Susan's Medicare question and answers every Monday in the Fresno Bee. Call Susan at 559-307-2287 and visit MedicareToday.net.
CentralValleyTalk.com